Hello. And if you have been really curious about how do you use Go High Level, GHLs for short, in your business, and you've been wanting a really great tutorial guide, then look no farther because that is what I'm going to be teaching you in this video. Now, for a lot of you, Go High Level can feel really overwhelming, but actually that's the beauty of Go High Level is that if you're a solo business, if you're a business scaling with 15, 20, even 100 employees, you actually can use Go High Level. And that tool, which I'm going to walk you through in this video, is going to help you scale so much faster. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack and give you the basic tutorial of all of the different sections that we have in Go High Level and how you can start to actually get to use them. If you have already been using Go High Level, then what I want you to do is think how you can actually optimize this. And if you're completely new, then I want you to use the link below to sign up for a trial version. Now, this trial version is going to give you a 14-day trial where you can test these things out and see if this is absolutely a great investment for you. And if you are scaling, if you have customers, if you want to manage your business a little bit more, have everything consolidated into one system, then this absolutely is for you. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through what Go High Level is in this video. Now, unlike a lot of things, why I love Go High Level. So I discovered this a few years ago and I completely changed my life. Now, as somebody who does business consulting and course creation, building community and email marketing, I have been using several different systems and piecing them together. There'd be email lists here, there'd be maybe customers here, and not everything was fully consolidated. So when I discovered Go High Level, not only was it an opportunity for me to put all of my courses in one place, but also to hook up with all of my lead magnets, my website, my sales funnel, as well as the CRM. And what's so robust about this is that it allows you to do contract management. It allows you to build so many key automations and workflows for your team, for your sales team, so you can keep track of everything in the entire sales cycle, which is a really important thing. So if you've got a team, you've got sales, you've got marketing, all of this actually can be under the hood into Go High Level. So what you're looking at right now is a test version, right? So this is a sub account that we have in our company. And so it's just called demo, but I'm going to walk you through it. So if you see zero data, that's because this is a test account, but it doesn't matter because you can follow through with me and make sure that you are getting so much value. One of the cool things about Go High Level is that there's a mobile app. Downloading it is amazing because you're going to start seeing those sales conversations, the actual movement of your business coming through there. Now, to orient yourself, we'll spend this tutorial focused on the left-hand side, which is just walking you through all of the key components. So let's go. Your Launchpad is going to be the thing that you set up when you get started with this account. We've got the mobile app installed. Check for us. Now, if you're a local business and you're using Google, you can actually integrate Go High Level to your Google business to automate a lot of the review functions and actually a lot of the leads and the lead generation in there. So you can add in your Google business profile. You can also integrate your Facebook pixel, your Facebook accounts. So when you're running Facebook ads, that will be integrated as well. And then, like anything, when you get website visitors, you're able to actually get a chat bot up in your website, able to capture and generate leads that way. If you're running an international business and you're using WhatsApp, it's a great way to connect with potential customers fast because you have their information. You can also integrate that. If you're running digital products or if you're collecting payment directly from Stripe, we'll talk a lot more about that in the accounting section. And then you can also add your team members in the Launchpad. The next section is our dashboard. I want you to think about this as the high level of what you are seeing, what's happening in your business. So when this is active, you're going to be seeing opportunities. You're going to be seeing the value of those opportunities. You're going to be seeing the different conversations that you have, where you are in the funnel, and the actual steps in the funnel as well. And then you can see if you are doing task management and if you've got manual actions, you can see that there, as well as where your leads are coming for. You'll also be able to integrate Google Analytics which is massive if you are running an online business and if you're playing the SEO game for your website to actually see how traffic is coming, what traffic sources are coming, and you'll be able to see this type of report there. You can then see your Google business profile and the type of activity that you have there. You will see the Facebook ads, how much money you've spent, how many clicks have come through, and even a Google Ads report. This is like the full functioning. You want to look at numbers, you want to look at everything. This is in the Go high level dashboard. Now, for this to work, you want to make sure that everything has actually been integrated well into your Go high level. This is why implementation is so very much important. Our next section is the conversation. Here we can add in the different ways that somebody can have a conversation with us and go high level. You can also see other conversations that have been happening through instant message, through social media. And in this section, we can see if we have any snippets that we want to add for a faster communication. Calendars are very important. So if you've got a sales team, if you are using this to book sales calls, virtual coffees, discovery sessions, even client meetings, this is a really great way for you to be able to leverage this because once in here, you can build out a lot of automations from Go High Level. So what you're seeing right now is the calendar view. We haven't fully linked our calendar in here for the demo account, but here you can see the different types of calendars that we have, and I'll show you where you can find this section as well. So we've got a client discovery, we've got a consultation, and here we're playing around with if we were a car wrapping business, a service with the vinyl wrap. So I'll show you actually how to get about here and how you can add information here. If we had a ton of appointments coming, we would be looking here every day and seeing all of the appointments that we have booked. Now you can go into the calendar settings, which you'll notice over now on the left-hand side, this is taking me into the settings section. So just so you can be aware of where we are. But you can see that you can always add in a new calendar. Now, the idea of a new calendar is that it's not necessarily for a person, but it could be for, like, this one is my personal discovery call. This consultation would be a round robin. So as you grow, your Go high level, depending on what you're offering, depending on how you're using it, you can use these different types of calendars to streamline your operations. So here is, I'm going to edit the calendar. And this would be a client discovery. I can add my logo. I can add it to different groups that we have. We each have a widget name. It's a very long one. And then we can say, where's the meeting location? So we can actually set up our Zoom rooms, our Google rooms to all of this, and we can even color code it. We can update our availability. So if there's certain days, if you're really mastering time blocking in your business and just for your team for efficiencies, what you can do here is that you can say, you know what, we're only going to have this type of call on these certain days. We will then be able to connect it to specific calendars and to specific forms. Those specific forms then can have automations and tagging to actually get anybody who books this type of call into a pipeline or into a specific automation. So you can see, you can update some of these, but you can also send them to another location after they book. This shows the notifications that somebody's going to be getting after they book this type of event with you. It allows you to say, are you okay for them to reschedule the event? Are you okay with them to actually cancel? You can have this in the meeting notes so everybody can actually have access to it. And if there's any customizations that you want to do to make sure that you've got the correct colors, the correct branding, all of that, you can actually do that here. So this is the calendar section. When you get more robust, you can add a service menu. So let's say you are a legal office and you have specific services, you know the exact time that those services are going to be. You want to start using Go High Level for this type of thing. You would then be able to plug that in and then somebody could be booked into this service. Businesses, I don't often see this, but let's say you are in construction or a home-based business, you could absolutely be using this for what you are providing. We've got preferences. And like, so this is kind of more of the high level calendar view. So we could adjust our preferences on the high level where we would say, oh, all of our meetings would be at our full address or a custom thing. And then we would put in the custom location. And that's important because when you create new calendars, then it will essentially build off of this and it will take that information. Availability is essentially at the highest level, the availability of the business, and then the individuals can then therefore go adjust. So at the highest level, if you're an online business, maybe you want people, you're running round the clock, you got people in every time zone able to support, okay, that would make sense. And then connections are, how do you actually connect this to your outside calendar? How do you connect this to the conference, the video conferencing, all that? So spend some time making sure that this is connected because you will want to make sure it is as you start receiving calls. Now, going back after we've got our calendars, we've got our contacts. Now, when we think about it at the end of the day, this information is all related to our CRM, our customer relationship management tool. So, with the contact data, you are able to really play around with different ways that you can build smart lists, that you can do tagging, that you can muse and synthesize this data to your advantage. So, for example, what I love to do in my own business is that I'll have this contact information, I'll create smart lists. So then, based off of people's certain tags, they're in smart lists, and those smart lists will receive certain campaigns. So, when we think about segmentation and actually building smart segmentation in your business, this is a really important way that you can do it. You can have bulk actions. If you delete stuff, you can restore it. And you can even have tasks associated with your clients. All right. So, this is a good way that you can actually start getting into the flow of using this as another way to do project management. Now, when we think about sales, we think about a sales pipeline and how do we actually manage our pipeline. So what Go High Level allows you to do, it allows you to build a pipeline. Now, a pipeline is fantastic because it allows you to track the different stages that a customer could be in with you, right? So this is a very basic one. As you know your own sales process and you refine it even more, you could say that it could be a little bit more complicated. Now, this base, though, flows into automation. So what's really cool is that you can add context here automatically based off of if they've clicked a trigger link, if they've entered into one of your lead magnets that maybe you ran some ads on Facebook. And then from here, a salesperson on your team or yourself, if it's you as the solo business, could then move them through the pipeline. Now, why this is important is that oftentimes business owners think about sales, but it's hard to see actually where all of the sales information is in. This is a very smart way, very intuitive way, and automated way with all the other flows that are happening in your business to actually track your sales. So here, if I wanted to add an opportunity, I would then find my opportunity. Maybe they'd already be in my contact information. I would name it. I would choose my pipeline. I'd add in the value. Let's just add in 50,000 for a big thing. I would say that I'm the owner. If there's anybody that I wanted to follow here, I would. And I could even tag them into, so then I could actually have this opportunity in here. And let me create it so I can show you where that's going to be. Now, what's important that we have to also think about is that things are happening so fast in our business that it's important to figure out how we can have automation in this, right? How do we move one stage to the other? So you can be very creative here. It doesn't have to be fully sales pipelines that you do. You could build operational pipelines or workflow pipelines as well to track where you are with customers. What's beautiful about this is once you've understood the system, you are literally able to build so much there. All right. So this is our opportunity. Now, payment. As an accountant, as a former accountant, this is one of the most important things that you can nail. so that you can start making a lot more money. Now, the payment features here, let's just talk about it quickly. So, you've got contracts, you've got invoicing, you've got subscriptions, you've got products, and you also have coupon codes that you can do. So, your big payment provider, you're going to want to connect to your QBO. Y'all know I am a CPA. I have tutorials on QBO. This is a really fantastic small business you can scale up to 8 figures and still use QBO. And you can also see who in your team actually gets to view the money section, because the money section is really important. You don't want everybody on your team to actually see the money section. So let's go. So let's get into invoicing. So as you can see right here in this section, we do not have any invoicing. Here, what I can do is I'm going to create an invoice. I can create a new invoice, I can recreate a recurring invoice, or I can import them using CSVs. Now, why would I do that? Maybe that's if I wanted to consolidate everything here, right? So I can actually see what's going on. Let's go here. I'm going to show you how to do a new invoice and then how to actually make that new invoice a really smart template. The cool thing about Go High Level is that there's so many parts that speak to each other. What we want to do is when we think about what we're charging our clients, we are charging them something standard, right? So we're charging them marketing services, we're charging them Go High Level implementations, we're charging them accounting services, but those pricing hopefully are standardized. So we can choose, let's just go choose Bobby again. We can link this opportunity to the one that we had sent for open. So it's in the sales pipeline. Let's say it's our first invoice and we're issuing it today and our payment terms are, 14. And then I'm going to choose the different types of product. So as you think about building anything, you want to make sure that the lists that you have in your Go High Level are accurate and they're updated. So here we haven't actually done that. So let's go do it together. So let's just say this is our monthly CFO services. And I do this as a service, not a digital good. It's important to do this because Go High Level is getting into are you really optimizing this for taxes? We have to charge taxes on it. So make sure that you do really focus on making sure the product is correct. The price name. So this will be monthly retainer. And then the amount will be $4,500. I'm going to select a tax category if it lets me. And there's my accounting services right there. So I'm going to save that. We can also add in if there's terms and services, which you want to make sure you have terms and services. If you charge late fees, you can add them here. So it could be 1% every month, okay, with a grace period of 10 days. And if you want to use an attachment, you can do that. You can figure out what that would be for you, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to save this. Now, it's still called new invoice. So let me just call this monthly CFO services, Bobby. Save. Now, I can convert this to a template. So as you standardize your workflow and what you're actually selling to clients, this is really cool because it's going to save you a lot of time. And then I can send it and I make sure that they have reviewed and analyzed the template. I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is test. And here I can only send it by text. So I obviously don't have his full information here in his customer master file, meaning I should go update that before I send. So pretty cool what we can do there. Now I have my invoice in draft, 4,500. Now documents and contracts, as somebody that came from this finance world, it is so important for you to make sure that you got everything papered up. What's beautiful about this is that you can have your contracts, your templates all in here and tie them to the invoices, the customers, and just manage all of this. This even does signatures. So it is really cool, really beautiful here. Orders, this is much more for e-com. So if you're using Go High Level for e-com, you would see a list of orders here. You can also build workflows for abandoned checkouts. So if you are selling trainings, you can look here as well. Subscriptions are anything that you actually want as it relates to your business. So depending on your business model, you might have a monthly subscription and you would then create it here. So that looks like what the products would be that they would have access to, the customer, and the start date. So then you just know that they're on a subscription plan. And then that typically would charge, instead of getting like an ACH or a wire, you would take it out of whatever payment information they've already implemented. So it's also important as you start using this that you really think about the pricing that is associated with your accounts, right? So if you're charging 4,500, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 for your projects or more, of course, we want to do wires and ACHs because of the payment processing fees that Stripe would take. Okay, then Stripe and a certain amount we're okay with, right? So this is up to you for you to really decide what makes financial sense for yourself. Payment links are really great. So this will be incorporated with Stripe. We can create a payment link. We can link that to a customer. We can link that to something, and then they're just going to have that link that they can directly pay us through. Transactions give you the full overview of, what has been happening. And as you can see in this dummy account, we don't have anything. And then products are very cool. So you can have an online store and the product list will show you everything that we have. Now, remember when I showed you about the invoicing, the products are essentially what will populate and feed the invoicing. So you want to make sure that you have an updated product list and that it is categorized correctly, it is marked correctly. So here you can see the products are physical products. We're not really seeing any of our digital products here. So that would be your first step, is like update your products. And you can also offer coupons, so discount codes and coupons related to specific products for a specific period of time. And then you can integrate this with Stripe and PayPal and Authorized Net and several other ones depending on your country. So you can accept payments in many different forms. And then here you can do all of more of the accounting setups, right? So do you call it a receipt? Who's it from? Just making sure that it all looks good. So this is our payment section. Now, AI agents, there's been a lot of movement with AI, and Go High Level has definitely adopted an AI first mentality when it comes to actually supporting businesses. So voice AI is really important and really big. We've actually created on our team some voice AI agents that are really, really great, because the cool thing with voice AI is that you literally have somebody that's a receptionist. Nobody is doing anything but answering the call and answering it really, really well. So voice AI, look out for a whole nother video about voice AI and the power of voice AI. But we also, when we think about a digital business, we have a conversational AI. Where does it show up? On our website and social media. And this is something massive. You can train the AI. It can be like you. It can answer so many questions. And the cool thing is it not only helps with customer service, but it helps you maintain a really strong presence online and capture leads, right? So very good for every aspect of sales. Now, one of my favorite things of actually when I got into Go High Level was just the marketing capabilities. The marketing capabilities are massive here. So I'm going to walk you through. So we've got a social planner. With the social planner, it connects to everything. So Google Business, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, multiple accounts, LinkedIn. So it can literally post in all of those areas. And it also has some integrations so that when you run Facebook ads or other ads, maybe on TikTok or LinkedIn, that information is there. Also connects with Google Analytics, so you are getting a full view of all of the marketing capabilities. It is super fantastic. So social media, click, right? But the next one is related to emails. Email marketing is the thing to do, right? So you can, do cold outreach with email marketing, but this is much more of, hey, we actually own our list. How are we generating smart email campaigns automated emails to help our leads turn into customers, and how do we maintain amazing relationships with our current customers. This is email marketing. So this is very robust. So you can actually analyze, what are our open rates, how are our workflows doing. It also helps you understand your unsubscribes, your spam complaints, how many bounced, and what your average open rate is. Now, this is really important because the email marketing rules with Google and Yahoo keep on changing, right? It's like you need to make sure that you got a really clean email address so you can communicate well with your customers. Everything in the world of AI is completely changing. So it's important that you can actually be able to monitor and manage this. Now, this is again fake. Unfortunately, this is just showing a potential. This is not anything real. So it's sample data. But you can also look at the different campaigns that you've built and also build templates that are branded well. So if you have specific things, you can build out those templates. Now, snippets are like information that you will often say to reply, right? And so this is just to ease faster communication. If you want to have somebody on your team make sure that they are saying the things correctly on brand, this is where you would use snippets. And then we've got our countdown timers. Now, in marketing, a countdown timer really does create a lot of urgency. You can create countdown timers for specific campaigns. And it's really great as you are gearing towards launches that you can actually use that in your marketing. Trigger links are links that you want your specific people to click and that you can track. So they're called trigger links. And brand boards are just kind of what they sound like. So if you are running multiple brands or multiple websites in Go High Level, you can create different design kits and brand board so that when you create your emails, when you create your websites, your sales funnels, all of that is actually already branded. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Super beautiful. And then we got ad manager. So you do pay a little bit extra up front every month, but you can really analyze the ads, which is great. I mean, it's $11 extra a month, definitely worth it. And as we move into marketing, from marketing, we get into automation. Now, this to me is what Go High Level is essential at. And one of the things that I support business owners in is actually how do you build more automation? How do you improve your workflow? How do you make sure everything is going in order to plan? The reason why automation workflow is so important is that if you are trying to build a business and you are fully in it and you are responsible and you are the bottleneck, you're not going to scale and you're going to get stressed out. And so often people are doing mundane tasks, maybe even have assistants on your team that are like doing these really repetitive tasks that maybe they're missing a thing, maybe they're, sick, and they're just not optimized. And so what's so beautiful is that there are so many different types of automations that you can do in Go High Level. Now, some of the smart ones are like, hey, you know what? Somebody gets in my lead magnet. I'm going to send them a series of emails. I'm going to support them and I'm going to ask them to take the next step. Another one could be, hey, you know what? Somebody's booked a call, a discovery call with my team. I want to make sure that they actually show up in the call. So I'm going to send them an email. I'm going to send them a text, and then I'm going to make sure that they're there. I'm going to track that they came. Those are some of the most common ones, but you can do anything to, when somebody's clicked a certain link, then you can add them to another workflow and maybe send them something or give them a call. But if you are just starting out, this is like your chance to be like, what is one process in my sales marketing that I can actually create and optimize, right? So again, the thing with you, if you're this beginner, this newbie listening to this, it's really important that you analyze everything and then decide what is that next step. My next favorite thing on Go High Level is the ability to build websites and the ability to build funnels. Now, the big difference between a website and a funnel is that a website has multiple bits of architecture, right? So you land on a website, you can say, contact us, learn about me, read the blog, go to my service page, right? It's big, it's robust. That serves a purpose for information for a business. Like, so this is like an accounting one. Temecula's expert QuickBooks and bookkeeping services, right? So amazing. We've got this beautiful website for you. It looks fantastic. I love it, right? They click it, they get in. But the difference here between a website and a funnel is I'm going to show you. So that's our website. Our funnel comes over here is very specific. People have gotten into our sales funnel. Oh, so this is a funnel for getting reviews. So a funnel essentially takes people through something, right? So people land, and then there's a bit by bit, very strategic set of steps. So in this example, it is how was your experience after they rate something? There's going to be some A/B things. They're going to go through a different funnel. But what I like to do are more like lead magnet funnels, like, oh, this is your free thing. They click it. Okay, what's next? Okay, it's an upsell. Okay, do you want to get this? Because their intent to buy is so much higher. And they're like, yes, I do. Okay, you bought it. Okay, all of a sudden, we've made some money. Next step, it's delivered. Maybe we have a video thanking them, right? So those are funnels, and they're super, super powerful in your email marketing, in your sales, and your digital sales strategy. So that is a funnel. So with this, you have funnels, website, stores when you sell digital products or physical products. You can do webinars as part of your marketing. And there's blogs, there's forms, which that'll be a whole separate section of videos there. You can create surveys, you can create quizzes, and a chat widget, right? So it is really robust when you think about all of the things that Go High Level offers. You can upload videos, you can upload photos, you can make sure that you've got the correct assets that you need for your websites and your funnels. Reputation management is really if you are focused on getting those reviews, which you should be, sending out requests, managing them, looking at where you stand, looking at where your competitors stand. Reporting is looking at some of the Google ads, which is really great. Now, again, this is just sample data here, but to really see how we are performing. Now, it's huge. And then we've got our mobile app, and then we've got Square Connect. So very cool. Now, one of the things that, funny enough, I'm not seeing here is a membership. You can run your courses, you can run your whole online community also here. So y'all, this shows you the power of Go High Level. I hope that you take the links that I've given you, sign up, shoot me any questions that you have. But the point about this is that systems do take time to learn. Absolutely. It takes time to learn a system. But when you've learned a system really well, you are able to scale. And what is the issue with most business owners is that after they have actually created the thing, maybe they didn't have a process or a system. And Go High Level helps you really build out these very strategic sales, marketing, operational workflows that are super beneficial to you and to everybody in your business. So if you've been wanting to take your business to the next step, if you've been wanting to put in more operational processes related to sales, marketing, contracts, revenue in general, then Go High Level is so worth it. You can sign up with the link that I put in. And if you have any questions and you want any extra support, please make sure that you put it down here in the comments below. I'll make sure that I create some videos for it. My name is simone.liv.cr. I'm really passionate about teaching about entrepreneurship, about finance, and how you can build a very fulfilling life as an entrepreneur. This is one of the most important things to get you freedom, is to get you systems that actually work for your business. So thank you so much. If you like this, subscribe, leave a like, definitely leave me a comment. I will talk to you later. Ciao.